Yo, so we're here for the penultimate episode of What If, where, yeah, like, we're gonna have an Avengers of incredibly depressing heroes. If anything is to go by with the last 2 seconds.
This is gonna be something.
Something is putting it lightly. Go ahead.
So, this week's episode is titled, What If Ultron Won? So, basically, it branches off from Age of Ultron, except instead of the Avengers stealing one of his bodies and forming Vision, Ultron has the Vision body, and he becomes, well, Death.
Yeah.
And basically kills all the planets.
You just how do you want to make someone seem really threatening? You know, the person we set up for 10 years to be the biggest badass on the planet. How about we have him kill him in 2 seconds?
I love the way he just goes out like a bitch.
Whop. I love how this also just sets the precedent of if Vision was not injured, Infinity War and Endgame don't happen.
Yep.
How they purposely, and I said this instantly when I was watching Infinity War with my friends, where I'm like, okay, the problem here is there's way too many powerful people on this battlefield, and something's got to happen to make sure all of them can't be ready to go, because otherwise, even half-wielded Infinity Gauntlet, Thanos is fucked. And then within the first, half an hour of fucking Infinity War, Corvus Glaive just freaking Vision. So that gets rid of him, and Scarlet Witch turns into an emotional mess. So 2 of the most powerful people in the entire universe just off the table.
Plus with Hulk being like, I don't want to fight.
Exactly. And then Doctor Strange going, I could have ended the, oh my god, I've never had this rant, but my fucking god, the sheer stupidity of Marvel to, in the beginning of that movie, it bugs me to this day, and they'll never address it. They have, who's the big dude? Of Thanos' children. It's Corvus Glaive, Ebony Maw, Proxima Midnight. Who's the big guy?
Shoot, what's his name?
Anyway, they have the fight in New York where it's either Wong or Doctor Strange. He goes to punch one of them, and they open the portal, and they slice his arm off.
Was it Cull Obsidian?
Cull Obsidian. And they put just, within 2 seconds, boom, bam, portal open, portal shut, boom. His whole arm, up from the elbows, gone. Hey, guys. Idea. You have a half an hour long fight with a guy who your whole objective is to fucking get a glove off his arm.
I see where you're going with this.
Never once do they try that fucking trick. In that movie or in Infinity War or at Endgame, they could have twice just went boom, bam, just offed both of his arms. Just like, are you serious? I'm like, even what, like, this is a tangent. I'm like, okay, cool. They're going to do something to Doctor Strange to purposely be like, man, if Doctor Strange was up, He could have just did that to him. No, Doctor Strange does every spell in his spell book besides turn against him. Anyway, I had to get that rant out somewhere. That bugs the fuck out of me every time I watch Infinity War. But yeah, this is just the entire episode outside of the stuff with Natasha and Clint is, oh boy, is Ultron good at his job?
A little too good, actually.
I'm trying to think of what the trigger point is to where you understand the Watcher is there. Because Strange got it after ingesting enough magical horse shit to where he could see him. And now Ultron just got...
I think with Ultron is everything in front of him is destroyed. So in the silence of space, he can finally hear what's on the other side.
I was thinking something remotely close to that, but either that or just him thinking to himself and the Infinity Gauntlet and all the stones, like something clicked in his head, like something else is there. Because he's got all the Infinity Stones just fused into his body. He's not even wearing a glove. He's just pure technology living with the stones. At that point.
That's actually pretty cool how his body becomes the gauntlet.
Yeah. Which I don't know if I ever mentioned this. One of the coolest things that's ever happened in my life was the last con I got to go to, I got to meet Jim Sterling. And the guy who helped him with some art, I can't think of his name. He's Asian. The name is breaking me. He helped him with a lot of storytelling and artwork, but I can't think of his name. While we're talking here, give me a hot second to check my Facebook, because I do not want to mispronounce it. I got a picture taken with him and everything, and it's irritating the piss on me that I can't think of it. But anyway, they were sitting there talking about the Infinity Gauntlet and how originally it wasn't going to be, because some guy had a giant, this big, snappable Infinity Gauntlet that Jim was signing. And then they brought up the fact that he's talking about, he's like, what was that original idea we had for the Infinity Gauntlet? And then Jim's like, well, the original idea we couldn't do because it was too close to Brainiac. Originally, we were going to have all the stones be in a headpiece.
Oh, like the Infinity Helmet?
Like the Infinity Helmet, but it would look way too much like Brainiac, so they said that's why they didn't do it. And I'm like, that was a good call, because the Gauntlet's awesome. I'm going to keep looking while we're talking here, but yeah, that's just something that I always thought was cool, and how they came up with the head, what I want to say, what would that even be called? A chest piece?
Chest plate?
Chest plate, something like that. Of where, again, we mentioned how cool it was last time that Vision is wearing Ultron armor. He's both of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's nuts to me.
Yeah, last time we were kind of questioning, wait a minute, so why are Vision and Ultron together? And I completely forgot that in Age of Ultron, Vision's body was supposed to be, I think, was
supposed to be his vessel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yup, I 100% forgot that too, because it has been a while since I've watched Age of Ultron. But then I was like, oh yeah, duh. The Avengers stole Vision. I forgot all about that. Yeah.
Speaking of Ultron, I think this is a much better Age of Ultron than the Age of Ultron we actually got.
Yeah, I believe so. Now, give or take, we couldn't get this Age of Ultron in main continuity, obviously, because they needed the Avengers to win still.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the way they do it is off the charts, because you have him systematically destroying everything.
Everything from Ego, the Living Planet, to Xandar, Korg's planet, like pretty much all of the major locations that we've seen,
and with no effort. Which I shouldn't say no effort, because holy buckets of everything. I gotta silence that. Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm still trying to find this picture. But yeah, it's kind of nuts how they just went, everyone sucks, including, what was the planet that Carol and him fought to the core of? Was that Earth?
I don't think so. I think it was no, it couldn't have been Earth. I think it was like the I can't think of the name.
What people populated it? I might be able to help you out here if I can think of it.
It was no, what was it? It was like it was a planet on, I think, the from the beginning of Guardians Volume 2, where you see
where he finds the Power Stone initially. Not the Power Stone. Which one is that one? The purple one. Is that the Power Stone?
That's the Power Stone.
That's the Power Stone. Yeah, where he finds the purple Power Stone.
But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Volume 2, where Peter...
Sovereign's planet.
Yeah, that's the one.
Wait, doesn't he take that out though in like the beginning montage, or am I wrong?
It's a little bit later, I think.
Ron Lim.
There we go.
That's who it was. Finally found the picture. Got a lot of selfies on the old Facebook, but Ron Lim, there we go. He was the guy he was talking to. But yeah, it's whatever planet it was. They fought to the core, and she almost pried his head off, and it basically seemed like he was letting her to see how far she could get. I'm like, what? How powerful are you, guy?
But that's twice now that we've got to see Captain Marvel just be like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm a badass.
Yeah, by the way, I could fucking kill you if plot didn't say otherwise. People forget. I do not get this hate boner that people have for Brie Larson. I just don't understand it. Don't like her as an actor, don't like her whatever, but people just hate the fact that she exists, and they act like she has national marathons where she punts puppies. I just don't get it. But they forget, one of my favorite scenes at Endgame, Thanos fucking headbutts her, and she doesn't even blink. Just yo, that was awesome.
I'll never understand why she can basically say oh hey, ice cream is cool, and she'll get pages and pages of hate comments.
Yeah, she's like, we didn't say you were supposed to like ice cream. What's wrong with you? Why do you like ice cream from that state? I could get into a whole nother freaking rant about certain people that don't like Brie Larson, but I'm not going to do that. But yeah, they went out of their way to show everyone, you said, ISIS Thanos, gone. Freaking, Captain Marvel puts up a more fight because he doesn't, immediately try and murder her, lets her have her hits. And then, he gets all that, and he hears, it's Uwatu, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Watcher, and, he stops, and he's looking at all these other planets, watching Clint and Natasha, which the fight scenes at the beginning of this one are much better than what they've been previously. The action in that was great.
I think this is some of the best action and some of the best animation in pretty much the entire series.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's shots where they're like, hey, I know some stuff didn't look good before, but now we're showing it. They purposely show the animation and the stills of how that bike works for 3 to 4 seconds at a chunk when they don't need to, like the wheels spinning and stuff like that.
Mhm.
They were purposely just flex and be like, hey, we're getting pretty good at using this animation stuff.
There are even moments where, um, whoever's working on this show clearly loves DBZ because there are certain frames where I'm like, wait, am I watching like a let's play of like the Xenoverse games?
Yeah. And it's they're not, and they're starting to again reference everything when they can. That was Red Guardian Shield, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love how that was in this episode that aired. Keep in mind when we're recording this, a day before. Would it be 2 days? When does they come out again? Because you and me always watch them late to record these. Is it Wednesday they come out?
Yeah,
Wednesday. Came out the day before they nationally announced that Disney and Scarlett Johansson had reached the end of their lawsuit. Like, you could not have better timing if you tried. But and then again, we'll get to that part a little bit later, but it's just like they're bringing up Zola and a couple other things about like, no, I've met you before. I wish they would have had more moments where he was watching more closely, because just like the stupid little stuff where he's trying so hard to not, like, it's right there. No, stop. It's right there. It's like when you're trying to help like your little brother in a video game or something, but you're trying not to be pushy. I played this before. It's right there. Please. I need to go get help. God. But I love how Point Blank, and they know that these are cartoons. I love how they write their dialogue differently in these to be a lot more hammy. Like, hey, did you know that Carol Danvers was alive in the 80s? Hey, Skynet. Everything. I've seen the Evil Robot movie before. I don't think it needs a sequel. It's just like,
we get it, Carol. You grew up in the 90s.
We get it. But I love it though. I love it. They very much understand that they're like, these are like, I want to say action hero cartoon versions of these people, and they play into that, and I very much appreciate it. Because like Natasha, Clint, everybody, this is their what I want to say, alternate version of them that you never get to see, where they get to be more of like the juiced up, like 90s animated versions of these things that we don't get to see anymore.
Yeah.
And like, I don't need to forget, like, it's reminding me of lines again where I can't remember which one it is. I'm pretty sure well, I know for sure what it's from. I just can't remember who he's talking to. I believe it's in a 90s animated cartoon, and I know I've mentioned this even recently, where I believe he's on the ceiling and Tombstone is below him, and he's like, come down here and fight me like a man. And he's like, any chance I can convince you to come up here and fight me like a spider? It's got that type of writing in these, and I've missed that so much.
Same.
Yeah.
By the way, I should point out, speaking of the voice cast, they have some pretty good replacements in this. We talked before about Lake Bell as Natasha Romanoff. Okay, that is Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye.
I was wondering, because there's times where it seemed weird and then times where it seemed right on.
But the one that I wanted to point out was the voice of Ultron, and I guess his sentries, Ross Marquand.
I do not recognize that at all.
He's a name that I've seen kind of around. He played Aaron in The Walking Dead.
Okay.
And he's been in like a couple different things. Last thing he was in was Invincible.
Oh, what do you play in Invincible?
Immortal and Rudy and a bunch of various other roles.
Okay. I still need to watch Invincible.
It's really good.
Yeah. Oh, I know I have. I caught glimpses of it when I was at my new dad's side of the family. And it's It's good. Like, I caught the worst chunk for certain people. I caught the episode where they are chasing down the guy who was abducting kids at the college and like making the
Oh, like the bio weapon.
like the bioweapons where his best friend was hooking up with that guy, and then the boyfriend who he was hooking up with gets taken and turned into the bioweapon. That's the episode that I saw. where everyone was like, man, they complain about Invincible's girlfriend a lot. And then I'm like, she can't be that bad. And I watched that episode and I'm like, okay, I kind of get why they don't like her.
And apparently she's not even that bad in the comics.
Apparently not. That's what I've been hearing too, where it's like, why did they make her that way? But it's like, I still need to watch it. It's good. It's whatever. I've heard all sorts of good things. But yeah, back to this. I love it. Again, they get to re-reference things to kind of cap off the chunk with Zola. They program him and download him to like put him into a sentry bot, which obviously doesn't work because Ultron's off world. But you get the reverse of Vormir, where this time Clint jumps off.
Yep.
And I just love this. Again, dumb 80s action movie. He clearly could have just shot that arrow from where he was at.
But no, he had to do the sacrifice because I'm tired.
Because I'm tired. And my goodness, I can't do this anymore. And I'm out of arrows. Finally. Even though I killed like 5 Ultron bots with a single arrow in that one cutscene. Or that one fight scene. But I do the shot, which I want to talk about, is when like the ray of like sunshine is coming down and it's Clint aiming that arrow down at the freaking Ultron bots coming up.
Ooh.
Dude, that was beautiful.
God, specific, like certain shots like that are just perfect.
Oh. I was just like, man, you guys need to do an animated series of something. I mean, obviously they have this, but I mean like continuous through seasons with this style because it's awesome. And they have a wrangle on this thing now at this point. They exponentially improve each and every season. And yeah, it's weird that almost nothing happens in this episode. But everything happens.
Yeah.
I know I say that a lot, but this, like, the entire episode is, hey, Ultron's evil and he found the Watcher. Also, Natasha and Clint did a thing.
And you know what? I'll come right out and say it. This is tied now for the best episode. If for no other reason, this one looks the best, and we kind of already know that this is like a part one,
mm-hmm.
and the finale is like the big finale.
Yeah, this is my second favorite, but I have a feeling that because we're going to get, from what I've seen, and obviously people have seen in the intro to this, we're going to get my favorite episode's main hero teaming up with other heroes to fight Ultron. I'm probably going to make an early prediction that my new favorite is going to be
the finale.
The finale. I can almost guarantee it.
It's not a bad prediction.
Yeah, it's looking like it's.
But before we get there, one thing we have to talk about is the fight between Uwatu and Ultron.
I only had one problem with that fight. For no conceivable reason, Ultron turns into Galactus at one point. I didn't get that part. Like, he observes the universe, bites it in half, and then becomes the size of the Watcher again. When did he become the size of Galactus randomly?
I don't know. That was weird.
I didn't get that part whatsoever. Because then he zooms into this planet universe that he half ate, and he's still as tall as Uwatu. I'm like, how the fuck were you big as Galactus 2 seconds ago? It's a cool visual. I'll give them that. It made no fucking sense, but it looked cool.
I just love like the whole idea of them just like crashing into other universes.
Oh yeah. And then punching him through realities one hit at a time, changing it every time he punches him. I'm like, this is making almost no sense, but I'm okay with it because it's like, what are the rules of the Watcher? If he gets punched in the face, reality changes around him. He's like a global reset button, just boom, 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 boom. He's like the random map generator.
Yes.
Just keep hit the reset button. But yeah, and
oh, do you remember one of the interviews where they said an episode of What If they didn't do was, or they almost did, was what if Captain America became the president?
Yeah, how they had that in this for 2 seconds.
Yep.
Yeah, that was something else. And I'm also noticing now how all of these episodes I look like a cokehead because like I was convinced that I heard about this damn Chris Evans Spider-Man Sorcerer Supreme thing, and it's not happening.
I'm pretty sure that was just a troll now, because we have already seen Parker in the cloak in the zombie episode.
Hold on. Why Chris Evans didn't vote? Nope, that's not what I wanted. Keep talking.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, like I think every time you and I have been wrong about something, I mean, I've probably been right like maybe twice about what the next episode is going to be, and yet watching the episodes, they're like, how, like, who could have guessed that this happens?
Yeah, and now I found one article from Giant Freaking Robot, which has been sometimes okay, sometimes whatever, where he was going to voice Spider-Man, and I'm just like, fuck. That was just some random article that I read, and then it was from a trusted source, and I believed it. And now I look like a moron. But yeah, it's just, hey, maybe next season, no, it won't. But yeah, it's we, like you said, that whole Thor one, I was just like, what? Where did that come from? It was just a random one. They never pre-advertised. They never showed a damn thing for in the whole like spinner, like what do I want to say, concept art thing. And I'm just like, I'm wondering what the whole Steve Rogers as president thing would have been.
They probably like didn't really give it all that much thought beyond like, I'm Steve Rogers, I'm swearing into office. Like sometimes you come up with like a really cool idea, but then you don't really follow through.
Yeah.
That's probably what happened with this one.
I'm wondering how many of those are random one-off jokes in these episodes. Like, we didn't have an idea. Throw it in there for 2 seconds as something else that just goes nowhere.
Oh, like what if Howard the Duck got the super serum?
Yeah, something like that. It's just yeah, like what something, but I don't know what the setup for this is going to be. Are we going to see half of this episode being freaking Uwatu with the multiverse initiative? And what would be cool though is like we see the Gamora of a random, like, is he gonna go, here is the most horrid version of how that thing could have happened. Here's a different one where Gamora stopped it or was like the better version of Thanos that could take down Ultron. Because it's like, I assume it's going to, because I've seen some pictures posted online where it's like Peggy talking to like Captain Britain again. Why did they not call her Captain Britain?
Missed opportunity right there.
Missed opportunity. Captain Britain talking to someone else, and then it's like, is it going to be like Captain Britain, Thanos, Gamora? I don't know what they're going to call her. Evil Doctor Strange. T'Challa, Star-Lord. Maybe a rando that they just come up with.
And then Party Thor.
Party Thor. I don't know.
It'll be interesting to see how they end this. Now, one thing I've been kind of vocal about on Twitter is that as cool as all this is, this really isn't like the later episodes have kind of deviated from the traditional what if formula.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest, this isn't something that I wanted necessarily from a what if series. However, now that we're getting it and we're actually kind of seeing how they're telling the story, I am excited. It's just not what I originally wanted.
You wanted more of a straight up X-Files. He's just watching stuff, and then it's more of a see you again next time type of thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I get that, and I almost wonder if that was the original idea, and then randomly one of them went, I have an idea. What if we just did the Avengers again?
What if that was Feige's idea?
Maybe. I don't know. And again, we're never going to know what the original plans were. But like those are the two options that I see. That was the plan from the start, or they got towards the end and they're all like, hey, we've got a pretty cool different version of the Avengers. And then they're like, what if we made a what if where they all got together? And it's like, or what if we just tied them all together at the end where the Watcher was just kind of watching and something happens.
I mean, it's not a bad idea.
No,
to do like sort of like a remix of the first three phases.
Yeah, and I kind of get what you're getting at with the whole wanting this to be a different thing, because I hope this doesn't mean that they're not going to do what if again for a long time. Like they didn't just make this was the what if season and you got this out of it.
But I hope what this does mean is we get more than just like one animated show every X many years.
Mm-hmm.
Like I kind of hope the next one is okay. Maybe not ready this year, but like next year, they got something ready to go.
I almost wonder if like they're just finalizing what they think it's going to be. And then before they because I would imagine now that they know that there could be a well-oiled machine with this animation, they want to be careful about what they make first.
Yeah, like they really got to focus on like the narrative first.
Yeah, because they're either going to think we want to make a short series of something animated where it could explore something, or we want to think of possibly having them make an ongoing series. Because to me, one takes a lot more commitment, and then one you could just get done and then drop like all in a chunk of time. And at this point, they could do whatever the hell they want, because again, they make $1 billion a month. But, yeah. I don't know. But they have this great animation studio that's got really unique, that I still don't quite know how to describe the shading pattern for. Studio.
I've been hearing like it described as like 2.5D animation, where it's like it's not quite 3D because it's all cell shaded, but it's also not 2D either.
That is true. That's a good way to think about it. But yeah, it's something unique that shouldn't be stuck just with what if. And like, if they want to do a different animation style, I'm not going to be upset. I just really like this animation style now. I was really iffy on it in that first episode, but now I've really grown to like it, especially now again that they've figured it out. Like the cutscenes and how they animate everything, there's no foibles anymore. Everything looks great.
See, this is why I said the Captain Carter episode was just proof of concept that the style can work.
Yep.
But each episode they add little like stylistic flares, and that honestly helps. It helps like build upon the foundation that they've laid.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's just like I said, just use it for something. I don't know what. Use it for something. Because she's good. She's real good. But yeah, I don't have any other thoughts on it.
So I said my two favorite ones. Is other than the top two, is your list still basically the same?
Yeah, I'm really not going to go through it again because it hasn't changed. This one has shrunk the list down, or I mean, moved it down a peg.
Yeah, same.
Because this felt like I was what the other ones just like this. What I want to say, this felt like obviously for multiple reasons. This felt like a Phase 2 movie versus I was watching Phase 2 chunk of Marvel animation versus Phase 1. They jumped a phase in a phase, and just the quality of how they have stuff tied together.
It's kind of impressive how they did that in just like a few episodes.
Yeah, it's nuts. They have people that know what they're doing and knew how to get out of this engine or this animation style what they wanted to. So they should be very, very, very happy with what they've been able to do because it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And again, the voice acting's even doing great. Like the little bit that Iron Man was in this one again, he sounded better than the last time he was Iron Man. And again, I don't know when they have them do these lines or if they just had different direction this time, but he sounded better in my opinion.
He did.
But yeah, so outside of that, I think we're ready to get out of here. I don't have any other thoughts other than just
this is a good one.
That was a good one. Ready for next time. And we'll be ending there, and then it'll be, I don't know what we're going to have, because the next thing's going to be Hawkeye, right? That's going to be before Spider-Man, right?
Actually, before Hawkeye is Eternals.
That's right. Man, I keep forgetting how everything being pushed back made a logjam of stuff that's going to be coming out now. November is going to be a busy month.
Oh, yeah. October's already busy.
But yeah, all right, Mike, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at CaptainK42. You can check out my quick thoughts on letterboxd.com/CoachK42. And you can find me in all the various Facebook groups just at my name. You can check out Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and Twitter at Ren Pop Culture. Look for us on Podchaser. Listen to all of our podcasts on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you listen. And last but not least, everything can be found at renegadepopculture.com. Need escape? So do we.
Absolutely. And you can find me everywhere at Organoid Zero. I will be back to streaming next week. Like I mentioned in our Venom review, I went through some medical issues that left me in kind of a mess to where I did not want to be piping in audio into my head. I've taken a break from gaming, period, because of just like hearing issues and other things that I got resolved. And I'm much better now. I just needed a break. So yeah, that'll be going back to next week. Yeah, thank you everybody for watching, and we will be back for the finale of What If next time. See ya.
Peace.